Hey, this is Orange County Executive Steve Neuhaus. I am here at Lot Brewery over in Chester, New York with my awesome friend Curtis Johnson. Curtis, good seeing you, brother.
Good to see you.
You have an incredible story, you have a great family, and you have awesome beer. So I felt that this would be a great story to tell to all the residents of Orange County as well as people from out and about. So first off, you're, I don't know even where to start, because I remember seeing you early in the morning when you were going away. You were Army guy, I was Navy guy, and we would get up in the morning to do our like weekend warrior thing. We both got deployed. You went to Afghanistan, I went to Iraq, but you grew up on a dairy farm, right? So you're a Chester boy. Where'd you, tell us everybody, like, who is Curtis Johnson? Where'd you grow up? Like, where'd you go to school? And how'd you end up where you are today?
So grew up right here in Chester. I'm fifth generation on this property itself. It's a couple hundred acres. Historically was a dairy farm until, well, a few years back we ended up selling the cows off. The brewery came into existence in 2018. So at this point we're still farming. We're making hay. We're still growing some vegetables. We're raising beef, pork, and we sell everything right out of the brewery. So kind of straight to retail.
Did you grow up milking cows at all or no?
I tried to stay away from that.
Yeah,
I was the equipment
guy. That is like the toughest work. And I was talking to somebody yesterday about it. You have to do it now twice a day. When I grew up, it was once a day. Now it's twice a day, and it's backbreaking work. But I'm seeing a lot of farms, like Orange County went from a lot of dairy farms to a lot of these small boutique type farms. Some people are doing beef. Some people have goats. Some people are raising and growing different things. You have a brewery, and how did that come about?
So I was homebrewing for a long time. Used to work at Brotherhood Winery as well too. So that kind of got me into homebrewing initially, and it slowly cascaded and became more of a hobby. And as anything goes, you start buying more and more and more, get more into it. And back when the laws changed for the whole farm brewery initiative, then this started to become a little bit more of a reality. And so we jumped, we went.
So who do you tell? Like, I know your dad and your uncle, you have a lot of family still involved, you have your wonderful wife, you have your little boy. Who do you have to convince to say, guys, I got a great new concept, I've been tinkering with brewing on my own, I think we should take this to the next step?
My father was a great supporter. He said do it. There was no skepticism whatsoever. So, he actually helped build out the building. We did everything in-house, so this building didn't exist prior.
I remember growing. It's been growing more and more over the years. Did you have, what was the most helpful thing for you? Like, did you guys have obstacles? Is it hard getting loans? Is it hard getting permits? Like, how does one go from having a farm that's transitioning from a dairy farm and you have some beef cattle, I know, running around here, to this wonderful facility that's now welcoming, hundreds of customers?
It's definitely the permitting process is probably the worst part of it. You have to go through the federal government, which is notoriously not very fast, and then the state, the same thing. So that process took a while, much longer than anticipated initially. The town was wonderful. This is still zoned ag. We still produce, and grow, so we could kind of mixed use it, purpose that way. So as far as that was concerned, that wasn't the most difficult part, but just, all the build up and really the permitting, it set me back almost a year just to get finally permission to open officially.
So Orange County is known to we have a lot of wineries historically, and now we have a lot of breweries that have popped up. We have some distilleries that have popped up. How is the brewing community? Is it like a family type thing, or is it highly competitive? Is it a little bit of everything?
It's definitely it's kind of cool actually when you consider it, because everybody gets along with one another. We all do very drastically different things, have different places. So it is a community. It's definitely a really tight knit community.
Do they help you out? Do you help them out? Like, you ever hey, I'm trying this thing new, I can't get this batch to work, or you have them calling you, or is that like top secret part of the business?
No, definitely not top secret.
Okay.
I know Dan and Nikki from Rushing Duck, they've been awesome. They've helped me a lot, vice versa through the years. So that's a cool relationship we have just right here in Chester. They're
going to be our next stop, because I've been hitting all the breweries around here just to get their story out, because I think it's great, and I see the crowds on the weekends. But I think it's awesome to hear that you guys work, and it's great to see a lot of your products on menus outside of here too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it tough to break into those markets? Like, how does that work? Like, hey, I'm Curtis, I'm a local brewery, would you mind showcasing my beer, or is it not really?
It's definitely you're competing with
everybody
the
else
big giants that are out there, obviously, for tap lines. But if you stay local, like we stay in pretty much Sullivan and Orange County, that's as far as we go.
Yeah.
Just due to our size, we're a lot smaller. But yeah, no, it's gotten complicated. COVID changed the bar scenes a lot too, so people aren't going out necessarily to restaurants as much as they once were, or the bars. So it's dwindled a little bit in the distribution world, but I mean, we do everything in-house. We're small to begin with. We try to focus only on the tap room, so that doesn't affect us a whole lot either way.
I saw, one of the things I think which is pretty cool is that you marry with a lot of other local businesses. So like on the weekends, you guys have different food trucks that are coming in here.
Yep.
And so what do? You just map out 2025. This is the weekends that we're going to be open and who's available and just plug them in from there.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Is that a nightmare to manage?
It's a nightmare.
It is, yeah? Okay.
That and the music, same thing.
And the weather.
Yeah, and the weather. The weather's been great this year, hasn't it?
Yeah. I hear that from a lot of people, the marinas and, it's just, you hit or miss, right?
Yeah, it is.
So let's talk a little bit about your veteran background, because one of your favorite beers, I think you still I thought it was going to be a special thing when it first came out, but it's a repeat offender, which is Heavy Junk.
Yep.
So that is a tribute to your unit that you served with in Afghanistan, right?
Yep. So that was our next. I was in an engineer unit, so that was kind of our heavy, horizontal equipment operators. So that was sort of our running, name, our a bit of a joke, on that front. But I served 6 years.
Wow.
2006, I joined up after high school, about a year out. Wasn't sure what to do. So I joined and served 6 years. Got out 2012. Went to Afghanistan in 2010, 2011, and.
Did you go to get a experience as like heavy equipment operator? Did they train you to do any of that stuff?
I mean, they definitely trained. I had a lot of background just from the farm though already, so I was already was constantly on equipment my entire life. Yeah. So that was a natural fit for me. So I love doing that work anyway, so that fit right in. So
they put you in the right spot there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what did it do to change you as a man, as a young man?
I mean,
you were like 19 then. You said a year after high school?
No, that's when I first joined. Yeah, when I first joined. I mean, the deployment was probably the bigger side of that picture. I think that changed me, as I'm sure yours did as well too.
First time you've been spent that long away from your family.
It was interesting. That was part of the troop surge. It was a lot of the buildup, which we were a part of. So it was very unique. I mean, it was. I don't know. There's no good way for me to describe it. I guess I'll put it that way. It definitely changed me in ways that I can't even describe.
Yeah, a lot of your friends tell you that too. Or your family, I'm sure, have said that you've changed a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have one of the things I know once in a while that your buddies will pass through here, right?
Oh yeah.
So you still keep in touch with the guys you serve within the Gauss. All right, cool.
Which is, that's huge. That's as you know too. The camaraderie is the number one thing I miss. I don't miss a lot of the other things out of it, but I miss the camaraderie.
You definitely miss the people. One of the things that's near and dear to your hearts is you guys also you host Towns for Troops and other veteran stuff a lot here, right, on a regular basis. So. I see that's like one of your passions as well, to help them out, help the other service members. I mean,
there's a lot of folks out there that that really the help isn't there as much as it should be. Especially, I remember coming home and they kind of just throw you back into the world again, and it's completely different. You've been gone for a year; things are completely flipped upside down. You're expecting to come back just like everything was, and it's been a year, so it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So there's definitely need for folks, both coming back, and leaving, and just trying to make sure all that's orchestrated correctly, so they can get help if they need it.
Did the federal government help you at all with this business? Like, did you have to take any loans out or any business things? I remember when the Iraq MOB, they make you go for like a week of classes to what do you want to do? What's your best job? By the way, I took this test and it tells you what you're most fitted for. It said the best job for me to do is to run a fish hatchery. Now I do fish and I do raise fish and I have a farm, but totally opposite of what people are used to. But did you have to take those courses and did they help you at all, or you just got the hell out?
I kind of just got out at that point. I mean, it was I don't know. I don't remember actually taking anything quite like that. I don't know if that's a newer thing or not. But
they made us do this one 1 week in Virginia where you had to make sure that you didn't have mental health issues, but they also do you know how to write a resume? Do you know how to do interviewing skills? Where do you have a plan? And they would I guess they were trying to minimize that damage that was customary, that they would just throw these guys out in the middle of the new world that they've missed for a year that's changed and they've changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think they mean well to try to change it, but my fish hatchery profile never went that far.
Didn't quite go that far.
No. It's funny. I look at the picture of the cat, and I was going to joke about this when I came here, because when I grew up, and I think you probably remember this too, because you're a little bit younger than me. Budweiser had everybody had a dog, right? As their the Bud campaigns, and Stroh's had Alex and all these different dogs and animals. It seems to be that every brewery has a cat.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So is that like a new trend now? Like breweries have they're less maintenance than dogs? Is that, or what's going on with
They're
that?
definitely easier than they do their own thing. But I mean, years back, prior to having great pest control that we have these days, breweries would have cats just to take care of any mice, any rodent problems, because there's piles of grain sitting around that they love to eat and get into. So historically, breweries always had cats just to keep everything out.
Do you feed the used hops to cattle, or is that not happening anymore?
So no, I do.
People do that.
Yep, absolutely. So
a lot of protein, right?
Yep, a lot of protein. So I take that spent grain that goes right to the animals.
That's awesome for people here. So it's interesting because one of the times I was here, and I think you guys remember this, I posted a video. I was leaving here on a Sunday, and your turkey flock.
Oh yeah.
So it's not just cats, it's not just cattle. You guys have a little bit of everything
here,
too.
There's a little bit of everything, yep.
Yeah. And they were pretty friendly, but I think they thought that I was going to feed them.
Oh,
so they
100%,
were following. I felt like the Pied Piper of turkeys. So, but it's a working farm, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. And I see your family members, see your wife and your son all throughout the day as I'm driving to work. Mm-hmm. This is one of the routes I take.
Oh yeah.
You guys are out working and making sure the trains are running on time here.
Yep, absolutely.
What's next? Are you like happy where you are right now, or are you like, oh, next thing I'm going to have a permanent bandstand, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that? Do you have any crazy ideas now, or are they kind of suppressed?
I mean, they're a little bit suppressed. I mean, things have been funny since COVID. I mean, we put on the expansion after COVID just because we needed the space. We haven't gone too crazy. I mean, I'm trying to stay a little bit conservative. The market's a little interesting with craft beer. It's changed a lot, ever since especially COVID. So we're kind of taking a step back and just trying to maintain what we have at this point.
Do you think the market is saturated, or do you think there's still room for more?
I think it's a little bit part saturation, and it's also part just the trends are they're changing. People are either drinking non-alcoholic beverages or seltzers. We've seen that shift kind of happen, and that's taken some of the segment for sure.
We did a interview with Chris Jacobs about a month or so ago from Penning's up in Pine Bush, and I know a winery next to him went out of business. The family just said, look, we don't have another generation to take this over, and it's a lot of work. Yeah, and they said, we'd rather just sell it, and it's no longer a winery. So do you see some of these, are the breweries seem to be staying intact here, right? Have we lost any, or no?
I don't think I'm trying to think. Shepherd's Eye, that was one that he did
that
close.
One
that was the one that I can think of. And then there's Big Dogs that he shut down too. But otherwise, no, we haven't. I mean, I think we're holding pretty well. I mean, we're in a great spot. We're close to the city. We're pretty well known. We get a lot of folks through that come up this way specifically just for the brewery scene. So. And
you have a team. You have a great team. So you have the same team in place, but it's tough. Your weekends are here.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Monday and Tuesday, is that kind of like your day off? Is that just you're just cleaning up from the weekend?
It's more or less brewing the rest of the week, and then everything else that comes with that. So usually Tuesdays are our catch-up day. That's the one day we're shut. So Donald and I are usually trying to brew and get everything else caught.
And you don't shut down pretty much at all, or no?
Nope, not at all. Nope, we're year-round, and Tuesday's the only day. That's my day off. Not that it's a day off.
That is incredible. If you looked at yourself in high school, where did you see yourself going back then?
Ooh, that's a question.
Did you want to do so you were going to work with your hands and do something either with
honestly,
the
when I first got out, I thought I wanted to be a mechanic. So,
yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to go work for one of the major companies, and I realized that wasn't for me. So that's kind of where the Army took over. I joined the military at that point.
You have anybody in the military before you, what was that thing that made you join?
I mean, so my grandfather, from my mother's side, he was in during the Korean War, and he was not too pleased when I joined. Of course, he kind of yelled at me briefly. Yeah, went through that motion, but he was absolutely proud. But as far as my immediate family, otherwise there really hasn't been that many. I mean, you go back to the Bull family, and that history of it. Yes, there's a lot of ancestors that have served over the years.
Wow, so you're related to the Bulls too? Yep. I didn't know that. That's pretty incredible. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen some of their members here, like Lyle Shute comes here, and some of the other members like that. Yeah.
I'm on the board too. Yeah. They got me into that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can't. You get voluntold to do these things.
Basically, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What year is this now been in since you've been open and doing your brewery?
So this is year 7.
And this is, you weren't selling it when you were brewing and tinkering, it was just for yourself?
No, at that point it was, everybody wants to be your friend when you brew beer.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had lots of guinea pigs to try beer on.
Yeah, of course. What was the most challenging? What was the most challenging thing for you when you got started? Were you ever like, now you got your father and everybody is in the business with you, saying, all right, fine, let's go with this idea of this brewing. You make some pretty good beer. Let's take it to the next step. What was there times like, dude, this is not going to work. I'm going to have to. Is there any other options, or was that never on the table?
I mean, I didn't consider it to be on the table. I mean, there was always that thought in the back of your mind, of course.
Yeah.
Like starting any business, you're going to have that thought. There's going to be, especially in the beginning. I mean, you're just going to have rocky starts here and there. There's always going to be something wrong. There's definitely a lag period of a few years where you finally get in like at least a groove and you figure something out. Where it's maybe you get a full week and something doesn't happen, but it's I don't think it was ever necessarily a thought in my mind that it wasn't going to work.
Who's coming up with the new brews for you?
That's usually Don and I. It's both of us still.
And it's all just a trial by error?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, a lot of it, like some of at this point, we have some styles that we know we're going to go after. I know basically what I'm looking for in the beer, so I can kind of like just come off the top of my head with it.
Does it make sense to go in these competitions and saying you're award winning, or is it just literally just a steady customer base that comes here on a weekly basis, or maybe comes for some of your events like the Oktoberfest is coming up? I went to that last year. It was a lot of fun. What is that base for you? Does that give you any like street credit to win those prizes, or?
I mean, it does. It does and it doesn't. I guess it's not something that I've ever heavily focused on. I mean, it's bragging rights like anything else. It's cool. It's fun to win. We just, most of the cases we're just here working all the time, so we never have time to actually go to the competitions and deal with all that stuff.
It's good for people to hear how the inside of how these work, and how you make it happen. What's your favorite event that you do every year?
Oktoberfest by far.
Is, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, Towns for Troops is a darn close second. That's just a blast. That's an absolute blast. It's great. Seeing everybody networking, getting folks together like that. But Oktoberfest it's a great time.
What's the biggest draws? Is it the bands? Do they make the night too? If you bring in a headliner or something like that?
Bands definitely help. I mean, you have to entertain people. That's what folks are looking for these days. So that's actually been a little more of a challenge too. Now we have to have entertainment. Before we didn't necessarily need it. Now we do. So that's a big draw. That definitely helps. In the food trucks, we have a pretty good rotational going, so people get diversification. And
so, how do people find out about events you're having? How to buy your beer? Your hours of operation? What food trucks available? How do people get that information?
I mean, one of the best ways to stay really updated on what's going on is Facebook and Instagram. I mean, we absolutely update that more than the website. The website is LotFarmBrewery.com. There's extra information on that as well too about what what the beers are, what you can and can't do, and
And we're going to talk about some of the beers you have to offer, but you also offer fresh, produce and beef here too, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome, very cool. Yep. So this is the business end of the establishment. You have a lot of taps here. You got a lot of names. What are your top sellers here, Curtis?
I mean, currently on this list, Son of a Bee, that's always a big seller. The IPAs, they always move. So Porch Sitter or Danger Zone. Low standard, like the lighter beers have come back quite a lot. It used to be people didn't want lagers, they wanted all IPAs, dark beers. That's actually that's made a reemergence again. So this time of year, especially in the heat, you see the lighter beers moving pretty well.
Wow. You also have a couple of bourbons over there too, which is to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, so that's Spirits Lab. So any of the cocktails that we make are from, that's all using their product.
That's great. That's awesome.
So this has some, we sent a bag of malt up to Van Smokey up in Livingston Manor, and he smoked it for us. And then we took chips, smoked them again, and put it as secondary. So it's got a little bit of smoke in there, but it's not overbearing either. Is
there anything that you can you smell this like a wine as a beer guy?
You can absolutely smell the smoke in there.
Oh yeah,
it's light, it's subdued, great. It's not crazy.
Oh yeah. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Thank you. You and I have no problem drinking beers anywhere we go. You have new people that are coming in from wherever, and maybe one of the party doesn't want to drink a beer, or they want to either have you had to make marriages with other places, or you just buy different stock to keep for those type of folks that might not be interested, or maybe they can't drink beer?
Right. I mean, we do offer some wine from Brotherhood, and then we have a Spirits Lab over in Newburgh. So we've been doing some pretty much basic cocktail lists just to keep other folks happy too.
So you mentioned that you got your start working with Brotherhood. So you still have that relationship with them?
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So they're proud of you that you're like the other part of the family.
most of them that I worked with are gone at this point. Yeah. So it's a new crew, but yeah, no, it's a cool thing. It's definitely pretty neat.
Well, I'm happy that you guys are able to keep the farm. I mean, it's challenging for a big landowner, especially with property values, property taxes, and for you guys to be able to at least keep this functioning for the people to enjoy. I mean, I drive this almost every day to work, and it's a beautiful stretch of the town.
Yeah, definitely.
And so for the future, anything crazy or anything else that we need to be aware of, or are you going to keep on trucking? And
keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. Long Lot Brewery, Chester, my buddy Curtis Johnson, wonderful family, good guy, and fourth generation on this property?
Fifth on this property.
Fifth on this property. That's pretty proud numbers right there. So stop by and visit them. And Curtis, thanks for your time today, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you.